Good evening. Welcome to the National News Broadcast. I'm Kasuni Balachandra.
Hello there, very good evening indeed. I'm Javed Bongzo and we begin with the headlines of tonight's news. The government says 63% of the persons who need to be vaccinated will be given the vaccine before the end of the year. The number of those cured from the COVID-19 disease exceeds 100,000. The Sri Lankan Prime Minister has been granted chairmanship in the governing board of the Asian Development Bank. Provision of the 10,000 rupee bag of relief items to quarantine families continues.
Moving on to those and other stories in detail. The Ministry of Health says that vaccine against the COVID-19 disease will be inoculated to 63% of the persons who should be vaccinated before the end of this year. It has also been disclosed in Parliament today that the relevant agreements and funds in this connection have already been presented. State Minister Professor Channa Jayasumana has made these remarks delivering the reply speech on the second day of the adjournment debate on the present situation in the country. President Gotabaya Rajapaksa has also attended the parliamentary proceedings today. The President upon arrival was received by Minister Johnston Fernando and State Ministers Kanchana Wijesekara, Kanaka Herath, as well as parliamentarians Thissa Kuttiarachi and UK Sumit. The President has listened to the speeches of the MPs in the Parliament chamber. It was the fifth occasion that President Gotabaya Rajapaksa has sat in Parliament after addressing the maiden session of the new Parliament.
Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa was elected chair of the Asian Development Bank Board of Governors. He was elected at the 54th annual meeting that was held virtually this afternoon. The annual meeting that was originally scheduled to be held in Tbilisi, Georgia, had to take place in a virtual format due to the current pandemic. During the meeting, the governors of Austria and Mongolia were also elected as vice chairs. The 55th annual meeting of the ADB Board of Governors is scheduled to be held in Colombo next year.
Before we conclude this session, honor to deliver remarks. Please.
The COVID-19 pandemic has resulted in unprecedented loss of human life and has disrupted almost all aspects of our lives, our societies, our economies, our values, and our cultural practices. In that background, I believe the time is now right to reflect and regroup. After all, this century is the Asian century. Our region has faced many crises, but Asia is also known for its resilience. Therefore, it is not surprising that our region is leading the growth story of the world, even during the current pandemic. Fellow governors, merging Asia has a responsibility to lead the world. We must ensure sustainable practices that will make our environment resilient to climate change. Our policy solutions must be environmentally and socially sustainable. We must preserve our way of life for future generations. The need now is to collectively cooperate in addressing our common issues. Toward this goal, we must be ready to adapt practices and technologies that help us make use of natural resources more efficiently. In that regard, Sri Lanka has already identified the importance of digitalization to facilitate the delivery of services within a green economy. Our government has also accelerated the drive to digitalize public sector service as well. We must, in addition, reduce our reliances on fossil fuels. We believe the ADB must lead the way in supporting member countries to make the transition to renewable energy. We also believe the ADB must extend support to emerging Asia to have smarter, eco-sustainable cities. It should be a new approach to ensure that access to resources is better managed. Another important area of focus is women empowerment. We must recognize the crucial role that a woman plays in creating a just and equitable society. While the Asian region has made significant strides in this regard, this is still an area that requires more work as well as the allocation of more resources. At this time, let us also acknowledge the support extended by the ADB during the pandemic, which include a $20 billion package. The $9 billion Asian Pacific Vaccine Access Facility has also assisted Sri Lanka and many other countries to gain access to much needed vaccines, and we are thankful to the ADB for this support. Fellow governors, President Asakawa and delegates, the challenges ahead of us are daunting. However, I'm certain that together we will be able to address these challenges efficiently and effectively, and that the ADB will provide the necessary leadership for that effort. Finally, as the incoming chair, it is my great pleasure to invite you to Colombo next year to attend the 55th annual meeting of the ADB Board of Governors.
And the chief epidemiologist, Dr. Sudhat Samaravira, says that the whole nation should act responsibly while limiting their movement considering the exponential growth in the COVID-19 outbreak in the country. He made these remarks while speaking to media today.
Over the past several weeks, we are reporting more than 1,500 cases each day. This is an exponential increase when we compare with the past. With that, the facilities that we need to treat these people are increasing, and also to identify these cases, the number of tests that we have to do is increasing. The most important thing at this moment is to try at our best as a whole of society approach. All the people in the country, government, non-governmental organizations, civil society, all the people should gather together to address this issue in order to minimize the number of cases that report in daily, and with that to control the COVID-19 very effectively, and to continue our economic activities and also our normal day-to-day activities along with our children's education. So because of that, we request all the people should behave appropriately and responsibly. They should come to the society only if it is essential. All the other time they should stay at home. We know that the Dambulla Economic Center will be opening today after closing down for several days because of increased number of case report in there. We are opening this not with a zero risk for the disease spread. Still the risk is there. Because of that, we should be very careful. We know that a lot of people are gathering daily at this place. Farmers are coming to sell their products, and also many people come here from all over the country to buy vegetables. So with that, this is a very good opportunity or very good ground situation to spread the disease throughout the country if there are COVID-19 patients among the people who are coming to the economic center. Because of that, we should be very careful and we should behave there very responsibly.
The officer in charge of the World Health Organization in Sri Lanka, Dr. Olivia Niveras, urges the public to take the latest COVID-19 surge seriously as daily infections continue to rise rapidly. She said that the most challenging chapter of the crisis may be at hand. She emphasized that the public should follow the recommended behavior to protect themselves from the outbreak. She made these remarks in a video shared on Twitter today.
Globally, cases of COVID-19 have increased dramatically over the past weeks. This is the most challenging crisis the world has faced since the Second World War. No country has been spared, including Sri Lanka. This surge must be taken seriously. I know that many of us are tired and overwhelmed because we have been fighting COVID-19 for over a year now. However, the reality is that we may be entering the most challenging chapter yet. The government, our colleagues at the Ministry of Health, and other frontline workers are working tirelessly to control the pandemic. WHO and the UN stand ready to support in any way possible to save lives and control the spread of the virus. But the health workers, security forces, and other local authorities cannot do this alone. Vaccines are powerful tools that are key to controlling COVID-19. Yes, but recent surges around the world prove that we cannot vaccinate our way out of this problem. However, we have evidence-based tools to reduce the spread. You can avoid the 3 C's. First, avoid crowded places, confined in enclosed spaces, and close contact settings. And in Sri Lanka, we follow the DREAM. We maintain physical distance, practice respiratory hygiene, we wash our hands with soap and water, disinfect surfaces, wear a mask appropriately, and stay at home if you don't feel well. We must follow these recommended behaviors to protect ourselves, our families, and our loved ones. We will overcome this crisis if we all do our part. Together we can.
The number of those fully recovered from the COVID-19 disease has exceeded 100,000 today. The government has taken measures to convert many hospitals, including rural hospitals and Ayurvedic hospitals, into COVID-19 intermediate treatment centers for the treatment of new corona patients. A total of 1,259 COVID-19 patients were detected today. Meanwhile, 922 were discharged from the hospitals yesterday following their complete recovery. So far, the total recoveries in the country has increased up to 100,075. A total of 16,054 COVID-19 patients are still receiving treatments in hospitals. 11 COVID-19 deaths were reported yesterday from Kongahavela, Diyatalava, Malambe, Maharagama, Aranayaka, Valgamulla, Veyangoda, Dalupota, Moratuwa, Kurunagala and Vaskadua. The Dambulla Economic Centre, which has remained closed, was reopened this morning, subjected to strict health conditions. Only the farmers in the Matle district were accorded the opportunity to supply vegetables to the Economic Centre today. Only 4 persons were permitted to enter a shop. A 2-meter distance between the individuals had to be maintained. However, the health divisions have received a complaint regarding certain shops not acting according to health guidelines. Upon inquiry, it has been found out that this was true and several vegetable boutiques and a cafeteria was ordered to be closed down immediately. Deputy Director General of Health Services Specialist Physician M. Arnold and a group of specialist physicians of the Infectious Disease Division were engaged in an observation tour in the Kasbava and Piliandala Medical Offices of Health today. The objective was to take measures regarding the reporting of increased number of COVID-19 patients in the Piliandala Police Division. 14 more COVID-19 patients have been detected from the isolated areas of Norwood. Treatment of COVID-19 infected cancer patients is being carried out in the Maharagama Apeksha hospital premises itself. Acting Director of the hospital, Dr. Lalit Poddalgoda, says that 2 children and adults wards have been reserved in this connection. A ward complex at the Ingiri Regional Hospital has been renovated and reserved for the treatment of COVID-19 patients. The ward complex has been repaired through the financial contributions of parliamentarian Sanjeev Edrimanna. Measures have been taken to convert an Ayurvedic hospital in the Eastern Province into COVID-19 treatment centers. The Piliandara District Hospital has been reserved for the treatment of COVID-19 patients. District Medical Officer Dr. Nandini Tilagaratna says that admission of patients to the hospital is scheduled to commence from tomorrow. The new 3-story building in the Kegaula Ayurvedic Base Hospital has also been allocated for the treatment of COVID-19 patients. More than 350 patients are able to undergo treatment at this hospital at a single location. State Minister Dilum Amanugama says that measures have been taken to turn the Kalathara Driver Training School into a COVID-19 intermediate treatment centre. Any of the employees of the Sri Lanka Transport Board afflicted with the COVID-19 disease are to be directed to this centre for treatment. The Gampula Youth Brigade Centre has also been turned into a COVID-19 intermediate treatment centre. 3,000 patients are allowed to undergo treatment at once in this centre. Steps have also been taken to convert the D.M. Jayaratne Commemoration Hall in the Gampula National Heritage Centre into a COVID-19 treatment centre. Facilities could be provided for 400 patients at this centre. An intermediate COVID-19 treatment centre has also been established at the Busa Navy Camp premises in Gaul. The centre is able to provide treatment to 162 patients in a single instance. Admission of patients to the hospital has commenced yesterday. The Hinguragoda Base Hospital has also been turned into a COVID-19 treatment centre where 200 patients could be treated at once. 19 COVID patients have been identified in PCR tests conducted at the Narahinpet Economic Centre recently. Administering of the second dose of the AstraZeneca vaccine under the COVID-19 immunization program is presently being conducted. So far, 139,286 persons have been vaccinated. Provision of the second dose of the AstraZeneca vaccine to the employees of the Sri Lanka Ports Authority has commenced today. 10,000 workers are to be inoculated. Inoculating of the health staff of the Ingere Regional Hospital with the second dose of the AstraZeneca vaccine has also commenced today. The health staff at the Angora National Infectious Diseases Hospital has also received the second dose of the AstraZeneca vaccine today. 12 more Grama divisions in 4 districts have also been isolated with effect from this morning as a result of the spread of the COVID-19 disease. They are Pamanua in the Maharagama Police Division, Honnanthara North and South, and Deltara West in the Piliandala Police Division in the Colombo District, Kuttuvila Grama Division in the Kirindevela Police Division in the Gampa District. Pallegama, Udagama and Ambalipitia Newtown, Walalgoda, Sudugala, Panamura and Vevalvata in the Panamura Police Division and Ratkama Grama Division in the Vevalvata Police Division have also been subjected to isolation since this morning. And in more local stories, the program to provide 10,000 rupee bag of relief items to the families subjected to quarantine as a result of the spread of the pandemic is being carried out continuously. The consolation food items are presently being distributed to 283 families quarantined in the Beruala Divisional Secretariat Division. A sum of 2.8 million rupees has been set aside in this regard through the intervention of the Divisional Secretariat. 2,925 families in 154 Grama Seva divisions in 8 Divisional Secretariat divisions in the Kurunegala district have also been subjected to quarantine. Distribution of dried food bags to these families are being carried out under 2 stages through the mediation of additional district secretaries.
Results of the year 2020 GCE Advanced Level Examinations were released yesterday. This is a description of the students who have secured excellent results at the examination. The first and second positions in the Bioscience stream of the GCE Advanced Level Examination have been recorded by students of Royal College, Colombo. Praveen Vijay Singh has secured the best results and the second best result was secured by Vihan Vijayaratne. In the arts stream, the best performance was recorded by Chamalka Seomini of Presbyterian Girls' School of Dehivala. Amandi Imasha Madanayak of the Sangamita Girls' School, Gaul, has secured the best results in the commerce stream. The best results in the engineering technology stream in the 2020 A-level examination has been obtained by Avishka Chankar of the Horana Takshila Central College. It was Dhanraj Sundar Bhavan of the Chavakacheri Hindu College who has secured the best results in the mathematics division in the advanced level examination. The first place in the results of the Biosystem Technology section of the examination has been received by Susika Sadasara of the Horana Takshila College. Navini Ravishka of the Mahinda Rajapaksa College in Homagama has received the second place in the stream of Biosystem Technology Studies. The second best results in the mathematics stream in the GC Advanced Level Examination has been secured by Chamidu Sanjana of Rahula College, Mathura.
Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa has instructed officials today to develop the towns of Kurunegala, Mattala, Lunugambehera and Beliatta as modern cities. The Prime Minister has made these remarks in this regard at a discussion with the officials of the Ministry of Urban Development and Housing at the Parliament complex today. The Beliata town is to be renovated with an up-to-date shopping complex consisting of all facilities including a wholesale market, a week fair, a vehicle park, an urban garden, a new bus stand, a multi-purpose building and a housing scheme for the middle class. Attention has also been focused at the discussion on the construction of a dual lane, a 4-lane road network as well as roads with outer and inner roundabouts. The need to provide trading, industrial, residential, tourist and health facilities centering on the Mathala port has also been highlighted on this occasion. Attention has also been focused on the creation of agro-agricultural promotional zones. The Prime Minister has also looked into the projects to be implemented in the Mathala-Lunugambehera areas. The Kurunegala town is also to be developed as a renovated urban location. The Prime Minister has also inquired the opinions of the officials regarding the relevant projects. Accordingly, many development projects will be implemented centering Kurunegala town. Ministers Johnston Fernando, Nirmal Rajapaksa, Pavitra Vaniarachi as well as State Minister Kanchana Vijayasekara, Chief of Prime Ministerial Staff Yoshita Rajapaksa, Secretary to the Ministry of Urban Development and Housing Development Sirinimal Pereira and Director General of the Urban Development Authority Prasad Ranavira have also participated in this discussion.
Chairman of the Kasbah Urban Council, Lakshman Pereira, says that statements pertaining to Minister Gamini Lokuge making a political impact to withdraw the isolation status in the Piliyandala Police Division are totally false. The chairman, expressing opinion to the media in this regard, further said that certain groups are propagating false stories in order to fulfill their political objectives. Chairman of the Kasbah Urban Council, Lakshman Pereira, said that the entire police division area has been subject to a lockdown last Sunday without the knowledge of the administrative authority of other officials. As a result, the people were faced with difficulties. The chairman added that accordingly, the minister, as a representative of the people in the area, has requested the authorities to be realistic and act according to the needs. Accordingly, the health authorities have restricted the areas to be isolated to 11 Graminildari divisions rather than subjecting the entire area to a lockdown. The chairman further said that the minister was not engaged in any political intervention. What he did was to carry out the problems of the people. Minister Gamini Lokuge has also expressed views regarding the charges launched against him yesterday. And Minister Gamini Lokuge said that he was not aware that the entire area has come under lockdown. According to the intelligence divisions, the entire area should not be subjected to a lockdown. The minister further said that therefore they have requested the authorities to grant some concession to the people if possible. As a result, the health authorities have conducted discussions and decided to exempt some of the areas from isolation. The minister further added that he never had any need to create an impact on the health situation.
The All Ceylon Samruddhi Development and Agricultural Research Production Assistance Association says that priority should be given to the inoculation process of health and security divisions as well as Graminiladaris and Samruddhi officials who are facing a higher threat of affliction of the COVID-19 disease. Secretary of the Association, Parliamentarian Jagat Kumara Sumitrarachi, said at a media briefing today that divisional secretaries are also in the group facing a higher risk. Secretary of the All Ceylon Samruddhi Development and Agricultural Research Production Assistant Association and Parliamentarian Jagat Kumara Sumitrarachi said that more attention is being focused at present on the COVID threat than on the security division. He also said that divisional secretaries and senior officials, including Samruddhi development officials and Graminiladaris, are carrying out a substantial task in this connection. These officials are responsible for the provision of bags of relief items to the people in isolated areas. They are also responsible for the distribution of the Rs 5,000 and 10,000 allowances. These officials are compelled to go before the people in high-risk COVID areas and to maintain books of accounts. He also said that the officials will have to work according to strict health guidelines.
State Minister Dilum Amunagama, who was earlier been sworn in as State Minister of Community Police Services, assumed duties at the Ministry of Public Security today. He took oaths in the new State Ministerial portfolio before President Gotabaya Rajapaksa on the 3rd of this month. Mr. Dilu Mamunagame, in addition to this post, is also functioning as the State Minister of Vehicle Regulation, Bus Transportation Services, Train Compartments and Motor Car Industry. Minister Sarath Veerasekara and Namal Rajapaksa have also graced the occasion of the State Minister assuming duties in his new post.
The Biogenic Green Technology Research Institute, Dr. Kasan Tharaka, says that those who are expressing opinions against the decision of the President to ban the usage of chemical fertilizer are those who are connected to the mafia dealing with chemical fertilizer. Director of the Institute, Dr. Kasan Tharaka, at a media briefing in Colombo today has reiterated that it is possible to establish organic agriculture in the country. Director of the Biogenic Green Technology Research Institute, Dr. Kasan Tharaka, said that it is imperative to establish bioscientific agriculture in Sri Lanka. He further points out that it is only through this means that we would be able to minimize the tendency of the man becoming a victim of the non-infectious diseases. He also said that his institution is able to introduce the commercial agricultural ventures affiliated to large-scale agricultural projects. The director added that if we fail to fulfill the target of the President to ban the chemical fertilizer, we would not be able to talk about organic agriculture for the next 25 to 30 years. Dr. Kasan Tharaka also said that there is a separate mafia based on chemical fertilizer. There is also a group which talks on behalf of this mafia and receives commission from them. This group is now criticizing the decision taken by the President. He added that, however, there is another group which looks at the decision in a development perspective. The opinion of this group should be respected. The director of the institute added that in order to realize the objectives of the President, Sri Lanka must move towards organic agriculture based on technology. He added that his institute will extend fullest support in this endeavor. In order to realize the objective, it may become necessary to incorporate the program with a national policy or a national program.
Speaker Mahinda Yababewardena was appointed a special parliamentary committee to identify reforms in the election and voting structure and legislation. The Speaker has announced in Parliament today that Minister Dinesh Gunawardena has been appointed as the chairman of the committee. 40 members have been appointed representing all parties in Parliament. Accordingly, Ministers Nimal Sipati Silva, Professor G.L. Pires, Pavitra Deviwani Archie, Douglas Devananda, Vimal Veeravansa, Ali Sabri, Jeevan Tondaman and parliamentarians Anura Kumar Disanayaka, Kabir Hashim, Ranjit Matumabandara, Manu Ganeshan, M.A. Sumantiran, Madhur Vitanage and Sagar Karivasam have been appointed to the committee. And that's it for tonight's news. Do watch us tomorrow at the very same time. Good night.
Good night.